Whenever you're ready.
All right, we are live. Welcome to the Fox Den, everybody. We are going to have a really good show.
We're going to have a blast. This lady, this girl, this woman fits in so perfectly. She's got a weird sense of humor, just like her, whatever, that lady over there.
And we're here. Yeah. It is. And I do have to mention, it is National Talk Like a Pirate Day.
Arr.
Arr. Y'all, welcome.
And everybody, in case y'all don't know, keep an eye on Gina's Facebook page for those who are not on it, because she's been putting up little sneak peeks as to what's coming up for Halloween decorations. And she's gonna go crazy for Halloween this year. It's got a pirate theme, so R is sitting in the corner.
Yep, that's his little hand there. So, but we are going to play our guest bio video. Okay, It's a long one because she does a lot. All right, so hang in there. It's really cool what she does, but you're going to love her. You're going to love her.
Yes,
we feel like we've known her for 1,000,000 years already, so she fits right in with us. We're going to play this so we can get her on here, and trust me, you're going to love her. This week in the Fox Den with Gina B and Mama D, we welcome Karen Abrams. Karen is a prominent Theta Healing Master Healer, gifted intuitive, and international best-selling author. She uses remote sessions to delve deep into belief systems and programs, revealing the seed of disease and blocks to help remove them, allowing clients to feel free. Karen has helped entrepreneurs and professionals release self-sabotaging habits and gain confidence, financial security, and personal fulfillment. Her keen sense of humor, insight, and healing abilities have made her a star on radio, podcasts, and international telesummits. Karen discusses the profound impact of relationships on our lives, emphasizing the importance of the relationship with oneself as the foundation for all other relationships. She explores how our inner dialogue shapes our experiences and leads us to a happy life, highlighting the significance of self-love, accountability, and inner dialogue in relationships with oneself, money, and others, which determines the richness of our lives. Karen is gifted with the ability to tap directly into the subconscious mind to remove limiting beliefs, negative thought loops, trauma, sabotaging patterns, genetic programs, addictions, poverty cycles, and more, allowing individuals to manifest and experience their desired reality and emotional state instantly and permanently. She leads group and private healing sessions using her theta brainwave to safely tap into the subconscious mind, body, organs, emotions, and energetic state of her clients. While in the theta state, Karen utilizes her gift as a claircognizant to receive information from God or Source and draws direction from spiritual guides, ancestors, past lives, higher self, and loved ones that have passed to facilitate and witness the healing and release of blockages, fears, triggers, ancestral trauma, trapped emotions, and more. Her unique and miraculous healing gift as a channeler includes the ability to communicate with the body and organs, finding and healing the root cause of any sickness, pain, and disease that can't be explained or fully cured by conventional medicine. And we welcome you and everyone to the Fox Den. That was a long one.
It was. But it was, and the thing is, it only just barely scratched the surface.
Yeah, I got a really good nap there, though, which was really nice because I woke up too early this morning. So I was just really, it was out. And then I came back and I feel so refreshed. I'm ready for this interview.
Go. Good for you. Yeah, we all need our naps. But this is going to be, after all of that, okay? So that kind of like says like all the things and the benefits and everything that comes of what you do. But what is it? What is theta healing? And how did you know that you could do it?
Well, those are two very good questions, especially to ask right now. So theta healing is a technique or a powerful meditation that allows you to connect to your subconscious mind and your inner wisdom. Some people call inner wisdom, God or source or, universe, that kind of thing. And you marry these two energies together, that divine energy and going into your subconscious mind. And we're able to, with your permission, energetically shift the beliefs that are holding you back in your life, right? I'm nothing, I'm worthless, nobody loves me, right? That kind of stuff. And also you're accessing your trapped emotions, right? We've all got anger and betrayal, abandonment, things like that. And that combination of those negative beliefs and these toxic emotions kind of ride us into the rails, guide us to make decisions that aren't so great, and so right, to put it mildly, aren't so great. And so this work kind of swoops in here and allows you to shift both of those things, replace the negative belief with a powerful and a positive one, and then the feelings and the toxic emotions are replaced with unconditional love and understanding and compassion. So when you do both of these things at the same time, you start feeling better and lighter. You're much more deserving, right? And so you kind of emit that you want better treatment from other people, right? And you start making better decisions in support of yourself. And this is the part that I love also, is that part of you that procrastinates, you should do this thing because it's really going to help you. And I know I should do it. And I don't know why I don't do it. And I just sit here like this, not doing it, right? Yeah. Those barriers start coming down. All of that baggage starts just falling away so that you can finally do the things you need to do to move you forward. Because this is all about not only energy, but it's also about your actions, right? And you need both of them, at the right place in order for you to get what you want out of your life. Mm-hmm. And that's what you can with this stuff. I love this work. Thank God I've been doing it over 20 years and I'm just, it's so much fun. I just love it.
That's awesome. Now, do you teach other people to do what you do?
Well, I actually used to train in that and then train people in that. And then I decided to go on to what I found is that there's a lot more interest in healing anxiety and changing your inner bully to your best friend than it was to learn how to be a theta healer. And it seemed like it was a good move for me to make. And I still, I would love to teach people how to do it. But I ended up landing here because it was really, what are the things that go on in your life that you want to resolve? What are the issues that you'd like to move forward with that captured my interest more?
Yeah, well, that's great, because helping people is what we're all about.
Right. Yeah.
So if somebody wanted to learn, would if them sending you an email, would that be an option that you might sort of like think about it?
Well, right now I couldn't do it right away because I'm not. It's been a while since I renewed my instructor license, so okay. I wouldn't be able to do that officially and have people go, oh, I'm taking a basic theta healing class with her. Now I can go on to the advanced. So that wouldn't be a place I'd have to go get recertified for that. But everything else that I do, yeah, right. Exactly. I'll be right back.
Until then,
until then, you can see all the things that she does.
Yeah,
do and has on there, and it's pretty extensive. The list is amazing. Here's some of her stuff here that you'll see. Okay, all her digital downloads and everything are on there. We have a free gift that she's giving you people that are watching. Let's see, where did I put that? It is this one.
Right
okay,
there.
so thinktheta.com /
Love yourself meditation.
Meditation. I'm saying that like that for the audio only version.
Okay.
And so there's a nice meditation there for you, and you can also find her on Instagram and Facebook. And we'll let that run for a little bit. What she's doing there on the bottom. Okay.
Right.
So what else we got in here? All right. Okay, we're good. Okay, so now all these things that we talked about, we have like a million things that could be done through what you do. Okay, right. Now, people, what is like the most common like issue you think people come to you with? Is it like people pleasing? Is it money? Is it love? What do you think the most
Well,
focus is on?
it's interesting. A lot of the people who come to me are people who are stuck in the sandwich generation, right? They're taking care of their kids, they're taking care of their aging parents, they got a business, they're in a, usually in a relationship, or they're wanting a relationship, they're professionals or entrepreneurs. And they all feel like, not they all, but a lot of times what happens is they feel like they're being passed by, that they're the rocks of the family. They're the ones that everybody comes to for advice. And then they're so busy taking care of everybody else's needs that they don't have enough time to get theirs and move the dial forward for themselves in the way that they really want to. Right. And so, and that happens. And, as women, we've been trained to do this all our lives, to sacrifice ourselves for others, to earn our keep, to earn our, to earn our existence. And so this is a common place for us to go to. And when we get into a relationship, when we're parents, that really kicks up in a big way. And so it's very easy to go there. And now that most of the people, not everyone, but most of them are around the 40s to 70s area. And, it's like, let's make this chapter here the best one ever, because once you realize your own value, right? And that even though
like it's dawning, like something,
right. Yeah.
like,
That
wait a minute.
everybody's going to need, your kid's going to need help. Your parents are going to need help. But if you don't set aside time for yourself, even 5 minutes, something to do the things that you love to do, you are not going to be energized. You are going to drain your energy out, and you're going to start that malaise, that just goes, right? And you just go down, and then you kind of don't know why you don't feel good, and you don't know why you're not happy, and you forget how to have fun. And you start isolating yourself, and you don't have a rich social life, and all these sorts of things happen. And you can turn that around, which is the best part about it, is you can turn this around. And it's not a terminal disease. It is just something that we have to cope with and recognize and become aware that, oh, wait, I'm sacrificing myself here. I don't have to do that. Nobody asked me to do that.
And then you feel like, too, like if you, because you are so busy doing everything else, taking care of the house and the husband and the kids and the family and everything and your friends, and then when it does come time for you to make a plan and do something for yourself, then it's like a chore. And then and it's like, oh, well, now I have to have fun. And then, and it's like, okay, well, what if I don't have fun?
Right. Yeah. You can't put too much in it. What I've known, and look, I'm learning this right now too. I'm learning this too in this part of my life about, and as my daughter's finally at an age that she's, more independent. And so it's like, oh, wait, what do I want to do? And I'm like, wait, I don't remember, and so you just lean back into the things that you used to do that made you feel good. And I've done that. And it's amazing the difference I feel and how much more richness I feel inside of my life now that I'm picking up my guitar, now that I'm writing, now that I'm, that I'm calling my friends, that sometimes I take breaks and I start reading a book I love. Like I never would have thought, because it's like, I've got this thing to do and this is how it has to happen. I have 17 things on my list and I have to go, you're like, hi, honey.
That sounds like
Yeah, really? That's what's happening for you? Yeah, no, it happens a lot. It's very easy to go into that place. And it's sort of, it's so automatic. You got to be aware of the other thing. And you got to give yourself an appointment in your calendar that says, I'm going to do this. And today I did that. I saw a friend I hadn't seen. We hadn't spent time together, like shared a meal in years. And we just went to a great diner and had great diner food. And I was like, oh my God, that was so much fun. And then got to come home and I'm like, didn't even matter that I ate all that greasy food. I was not tired. I was happy. It was great.
Well, that's good. That's I'm glad that you did that.
It was fun.
Mama was close, would be in trouble all the time. But she's in Canada, and I'm in Pennsylvania, so we can't get into too much trouble. But I do have a neighbor.
Okay, but I do have a neighbor.
That we have a lot of fun, and we really do. Now we've just been chomping at the bit because football. We love football.
Oh yeah,
and so,
me too. I'm a big football fan.
Yeah, we spend every Sunday together for football. Like we're already making our plans what we're gonna make for food this Sunday. We're gonna try a new thing, and and it is great. And I'm missing football tonight. My Patriots are playing. So if anybody's watching, put the score in here and there.
Okay.
But I do. I mean, that's a fun thing to do. But now I'm like, oh boy, now that takes a whole day away from my Halloween stuff. I want to start getting my things out. I've been building, and my dining room. I have this huge dining room, and it's all full of props, and I need to get them outside. So I've been waiting to build my boat, which I procrastinated about because I thought about 500 different ways to build it. And I'm like, just go build it, just go do it. And I did, and it came out great. So I'm like, okay. So now I just got to get it outside. And it weighs 500 pounds because, of course, I made it out of wood. I'm going to drag that sucker outside.
Nothing a dolly couldn't help you with. So,
yeah, I have all that.
Yeah.
But still, you got to get it on it.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah. But it's like, this goes along with this stuff, though, because I procrastinate doing this, but then I love the outcome. It's like, I hate this procrastination thing.
Yeah.
I do. I seem to do that an awful lot, and it does boggle me because I preach to other people like just do it. What I mean? You'll get better, and then I'm the one procrastinating. But I gotta say, I did do on your website.
Yeah.
The a quiz.
Master Your Money quiz. Yeah.
Yes. Now I did this, and. And I gotta say, okay, so my results somewhere.
Did you pass?
I don't know.
I hope you didn't cheat. Don't cheat on the Master Your Money quiz. That would really be bad.
Yeah. So on
never prosper.
On the first one I got a 2, the second one I got an 8, the third one I got a 2, and the fourth one I got a 4. So I'm like, okay, and then you send a thing with the results. Now this was very interesting. I mean, I think everyone could do this. It's very interesting to see what you are like as you relate to money. Definitely a penny pincher. I know.
Wow! Congratulations.
I really am. I'm just like, and I look for a bargain. However. But because I'm a designer and a tool belt diva, like I know that there is, this price and there's this price.
Right, exactly. So that's great. That's great.
It's that fine line in there. Like, am I willing to pay this price? Not really. Not so much. I'll pay this price.
Look, I always say that your relationship with money is I always say that money issues. Let me put it this way: money issues are life issues that just hit your wallet. Right. And the relationship you have with money is one that, was modeled for you, right? At least by your parents and your grandparents. And even if they're in different socioeconomic levels, we look at the way other people relate to money. And like in my family, I'll give you an example. So my family, money was a secret. You couldn't ask people, how much they made, what did they do for a living, all this sort of, it was like, ooh, I wonder how much that was, ooh, look at that over there. Right. And so there was a different thing. And then my parents got divorced when I was 3. And, my mom raised us. She was a housewife, and as was one want to do in 1969. And it's an honorable choice in any era, but she didn't have a career, and my dad did. And he didn't want the divorce, so he didn't pay child support. That was his way of getting back at her because he was so furious. And so they fought in and out of court about child support. So it's 1969, and parents don't know that you don't put your kids in the middle of things. There's no awareness of any of that happening. So, my mom's saying there's money.
There's no this, no that. Saying,
as we grow, we learn. So yeah.
Right. And they were just in the pain of it. She didn't want to be in this relationship. He did. And it was like, he has the money. He could support us while he was here. He can support us while we're not. And he's saying, I don't have the money. And so we're in the middle. All of us kids are in the middle, like this really aggressive tennis match right here. And so what happened for me is that I began to associate money with conflict, money with discomfort, trauma, sadness, and just this feeling of chaos. And so when I went out into the world in my early 20s and was so excited about finally paying for myself. I really was. So like when I got to that moment, I went, nope, not taking any money anymore. It's my turn. I'm doing it. And I felt so proud of myself. I was avoiding money at all the details of money. I didn't know. I was too scared to know how much I was making and how much I was spending. And so by the time I was 30, I was $20,000 in debt at a very high interest rate. And it took me over 4 years. It took me years to, and like $40,000, over $40,000 to pay it back. And still, even after that, I was hitting this ceiling in my income. And it wasn't until I found Theta Healing that I was really able to go in and break down those programs, those deeply embedded subconscious programs about money is a secret, money is chaos, money is conflict. I had to have those beliefs change before I could see, oh no, it's an energy, it's an exchange, and it's a relationship. I didn't know that it was a relationship. And the best advice I've ever heard about money that everyone can do, you don't even have to become a Theta healer to do it, is if you start treating money like a cherished friend, then it changes the game, right? You don't, when you have a best friend, you call them, you tell them the truth, you see them often, you interact and find out how they're doing, you find out how you can support them, right? You have fun with them.
Yeah.
And all of those sorts of things that if you can translate that pretty easily into financial steps that you can take.
Yep.
And if you start there, you can go from there. And it's a good way to begin, and especially in these certain places,
Yeah. I think I'm going to have to definitely take this quiz because I'm not a hoarder. When I get a certain amount of money, I'm the one who goes out, and my love language is buying things for people.
Yeah.
My husband,
You're a
I'll buy
giver.
for my children, and so I'm going to have to take that quiz. And if anybody wants, the link for the quiz is in the chat rooms. So you just have to go in there and click on it and go. And if you're on our audio channels, go to our Facebook or Gina's Facebook or our YouTube channels, and the links will be in there. I believe they stay.
Right.
But if not, shoot somebody a message and I might share it.
And
Well,
stay tuned, because she's going to be doing a general healing for everybody that's watching.
Absolutely. And also on the quiz, when you find out, what what your relationship to money is, like if you're a penny pincher, you're a spender, or whatever it is, or avoider, or whatever it is. There's also right underneath that, there is a Theta Healing meditation, which is basically like energetic downloads that'll help you ease yourself out of that space and into a more healthier space with money. And then you can take it again and again and again, take the test and go, oh, now I'm not not anymore. Look it over here. But
Yes, because we change. That's the thing.
we change.
Yeah.
We change, we grow.
Now, and that's
change, yeah.
now, but you got to change it. So then when you do change it, do it again, and there's always room for improvement. So
Yeah. Oh, there's a scuffle in the background. It's a barroom brawl.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh, they're going back for more. Nope, done.
so
I
going
think he
on.
thought he won.
Onyx
And
will
so-
win. The
Yes.
little one will win every time.
Oh, really? Oh, it looks like I thought maybe the big guy won this time.
I don't know.
I don't know. No, the little one's the alpha, right? Looks like, she's
It's funny.
holding their space.
It's funny.
Yeah.
But I guess like with money though, like I had a bad relationship, and a guy cheated on my neighbor, all this and that, and we had gone in on a house together. We weren't married, but we had gone in on a house together, and I invested like $70,000 into this house, and here I am going, okay, for my own personal reasons, my own personal sanity, I'm walking away from this.
Wow.
It killed me to do that,
Right.
But, it's like, I'm not going to stay with my investment with a cheater,
Right.
what I mean? I would rather walk away,
Right.
I did. And it's like, I had businesses, so I'm like, I can make the money again, So, everyone does that. Everyone has high times in their life and low times. I've been really wealthy. I've been really, so up, down, up, down, up, down, and that's just the way it is. That's life. But it's like, you can choose when you're down, you can choose to wallow, miserable and cry and moan and groan, and things will get worse. Or you can give yourself that 10 minutes.
Yep, exactly.
Snap out of it and build yourself back up again.
Yeah.
But these things are like, I wish that they were things like this that were around when those things were happening to me in my life. That is one thing I do love about doing this show, about having the use of internet and things to connect to people that, you know, our next generation or our latter self here, you know, don't have to go through this stuff.
Right. Yeah.
You know, so you can avoid it. So if you see yourself, you know, coming into this situation, you know, you have an answer right here.
Right. Or you can turn a different direction. You know, it's important to be able to do that, you know, and
it is. It really is. It's because it's devastating, you know. I mean, if it had been anybody else, you know, when I lost my husband, it was like trauma, you know. People try to take advantage of you for money, you know, and it's like,
right.
Oh, that's not going to happen with me. Sorry, dudes.
You know? And you really empowered yourself in that moment too. You said, I'm going to make it back. It's not like in one hand and out the other. It's yeah, I'm going to have to, you know, take this one on the chin, but I can make it back. So it doesn't really matter. And you turn things, you know, to a different place of I'm more important. My sanity, my heart, my soul is so much more important here, and my principles.
Yeah,
and
money
my
will
ethics.
Money comes and goes, right?
You can make it. Yeah,
money, earn it, go get it. You know,
right.
Go get it. But you know, but here, you're not going to be able to do anything if you don't have this. You know,
absolutely. So you voted in the right direction. You know, you voted for yourself.
And you talk about that though, like your relationship with oneself is the most important relationship.
Yes.
So talk more about that.
So yeah.
Sorry.
We're going.
We're both doing it.
So your relationship with yourself, you know, is the most important relationship you have, because from here everything happens. So that if you've got low self-esteem, if you feel like, you know, you're nothing or you're worthless, you're going to bring people in. First of all, you're going to attract people with the same beliefs as you do.
Yep.
So and obviously you can change them. You have the opportunity to change them. But when you change them, then something else different happens. Once you're treating yourself well, you're going to emit that out, and other people are going to notice that. You know, I always say that victims and victimizers, you know, they always find each other because they're sending out the same signal, right? Somebody's aggressing and somebody's non-aggressing, but they're the same thing. It's water seeks its own level. And Joe Dispenza put it really well, where he said that your thoughts, you know, send the signal out to the quantum field, and then your feelings pull it back to you, pull the experience back to you. Which another way I would have just said is, you know, feelings, they pull experiences to you, they attract experiences to you, and we have them because of our thoughts too. We think a certain way, and then we have a feeling, and then sometimes the feeling gets the thought going, and sometimes the thought gets the feeling going. But either way, it's pulling in those kinds of experiences, and so people know how to treat you when you walk into a room. You know, they can tell how you feel about yourself. There's a great saying once that I heard, I think in a psychology class at UCLA many years ago, where they said the best students of human nature are cops and criminals. You know, they just see you walking and they're like, target. Right, not a target. Not a target. Target.
Yeah.
You know, they want, you know, predators want easy prey. They want anybody to fight.
They don't want to fight.
But when you'll
get a fight.
Right. And when you love yourself, people are like, oh my God, she's so happy. I want to be around her. The people who want that come to you and say, you're fun, you know, like, this is good. I like this. And they're people who want joy around them. They're people who have self-love also. Look, we're always going to be a work in progress. There's always going to be things that we're going to be working on, I think. And because we're always growing, we're always going to be growing. I don't think that ever stops. So there's probably places where you're up here, and there's places you're down here, right? And so we're trying to get us all to come up, but you know, we've just got certain places that we have to focus on more. And the more we do that with love and compassion instead of judgment and rejection, we're gonna be somewhere else. You know, we're gonna get somewhere else a lot faster, because when we judge, we push ourselves into a corner, and we can't do that, right? That I'm so stupid. I can't believe I did that, right?
Yep.
You can't get out of that corner. You can't get out of the corner, but you say, well, you know, I made a mistake. Yeah, I see that. I get it. This is what I can do next time, right? You know,
people are afraid of starting a business. People are afraid of getting out of that corner and go kick themselves into play, right? Yeah. So the in between, she's still on no on no
No
strike.
strike?
How about the in-between still
She's
on?
saying she's on strike from saying no.
I'm
Um,
on.
Carmen,
I'm
Carmen,
still
I don't
on
know what that means.
no strike.
No,
I don't.
I don't
We'll have to
understand.
get that explained a little bit.
You're gonna
Explain,
have to
Lucy.
explain that
You have
one
to
to us.
explain it a little better. Explain,
Explain.
Lucy. We just need a little bit more on that one, and then we totally comment on what you really mean. So, is there a no strike meaning I'm saying yes to everything, or do you think it's a no strike saying I finally am saying no?
Oh, I don't know. I've lost my train of thought.
When she was going to say it,
I have the old.
well, yeah, very true.
Yeah.
In my defense, I just found out. Okay,
Oh, wait,
here we go.
So she said, I'm getting the, oh, not my type. The no strike, meaning saying that if somebody's not your type, then you say
For
no.
a relationship, you mean?
Maybe she's saying that. I think she's saying that. Carmen, we're getting so much closer to the true meaning of yours. I am so excited and so vocal.
Carmen, the
next thing, Carmen, the next thing, we're going to nail it on the head. We're going to get it, Carmen.
Third time's a charm.
Nail this. We are here with you.
We love you.
Want to comment accurately.
Relationships.
Yes. Accurately in what you're talking about. Relationships. Okay.
So you're getting, they're telling you not that. Okay, all right. So this is a relationship. Not my type. Okay.
So you're attracting people who aren't your type. Maybe that's it. Do you think that's it?
Or you're attracted to the people.
You're attracted to people who aren't your type.
All right, more explaining.
More explaining, Lucy. More explaining.
We're gonna get it though.
No, don't you?
We got 2 hours, honey. We can get it. We're gonna get it.
Yeah, we can do it. We can do it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Here's a man in the uniform with cuffs. There you go.
There you go. But one of the things, like I was just saying before, when you're attracted to somebody, you're attracted to them because they have the same negative beliefs as you have. So isn't that interesting? So, and if you think about it, it's like, yeah, life's hard, right? Yeah, life's a struggle. I want to know that somebody knows that, right? And so the opportunity when you fall in love with somebody or you fall in like with somebody is to evolve those beliefs into something else by being together. And because that your heart's involved, you're more likely to learn something, right? Okay, so yes, always getting the wrong ones and the right ones saying no to me. Okay, all right. So now I get it.
If they're the right ones, they're not being the ones saying no. Though just what you think is the right one.
I know. If you think they're the right ones and they're saying no, then they're not the right one.
Well, okay. So let me take that one on for a second. So Carmen, part of that it might be that I need to be perfect to be loved is one of the, like a root, a root belief that could be in there. And you might be projecting that also onto other people and there might be like, there's nobody who is right for me. That could be part of what's going on here, or I'm going to be alone the rest of my life. And sometimes what happens is you've come by this belief, honestly, right? You've come by this belief because you've had experiences where the guys that you are attracted to are not attracted to you. And the ones that are coming towards you are the ones that you're not attracted to. So inside of that might be that, I don't belong. Where do I really belong? And it's more of when you start coming into that place of really loving and accepting yourself. And I'm going to say that because I realize that anybody can say that and you can see it on Good Morning America and you'd be like, okay, so whatever. Lean into my deal with this is because you need something that you can do is to lean into what makes you happy, because the better that you treat yourself, the more you're going to emit to other people that's the way you desire to be treated. Not only you desire, but it clicks into their brains. Like, have you ever had that when you meet people who have queen energy and you walk into the room and they're like, they've got that energy and it's like, I am the leader. I'm coming in, I'm the alpha, and you're going to respect me. Yeah. And you know it. You're like, oh yeah, I'm going to respect this woman. Oh my gosh, am I going to respect her? Woo, right? And you can dial that down or up or wherever you want to be, but she's emitting something that she knows she's deserving of in that moment. And so you can have your version of that, which is just, I come in the room and I'm happy. And I know that I'm not going to talk to anybody who mistreats me. It's just not in the
Yeah.
It's just
exactly.
not anywhere around. Whereas other people come into the room and they've just got a target right on their head, and they're just like,
Yeah.
they're hunched over, or inside they're hunched over, and immediately that they hate themselves, that their self-esteem is down in the toilet, and sometimes they get mistreated by other people whose self-esteem is in the toilet, because they can climb on top of them and go, oh, I could treat her like this, and that's totally cool. I'll feel better about myself in a minute. I'll get a good hit from that. So, but when you come into the space of really treating yourself well and giving yourself, like we were talking about before, time every day, every other day, an appointment with yourself, however long it can be. You may have a lot to do and you don't have a lot of time. If you can give yourself 10 or 15 minutes to do something, you're going to be like, yay, I can't wait for that 10 or 15 minutes to come. Yeah. And then you'll try and figure out a way that you can have more. And the more you do that, you just start feeling so much better about yourself. Mm-hmm. And when that happens, it just shows people treat you better because they're so happy, and they don't mess with you like that. You know what I mean? I mean, there's obviously people who that's just their MO and that's just the way they are and whatever, but you're not going to attract those people. They're not going to want to be near you because you're too happy. That's annoying to them. They need some other kind of person, Yeah.
Okay.
What? Oh, what? We got another comment? Yep. I know most of the reason, definitely a lot to do, trying to figure myself out. Okay. Well, just start.
Like self-sabotaging stuff that you talk about.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. What about self-sabotaging?
Yes.
It becomes a very deep habit, doesn't it? When you feel like you're unworthy, unworthiness is one of the, root causes of self-sabotage, right? And then you punish yourself for feeling unworthy. And so you do things that make you feel unworthy when you know that you have more ability within yourself to be further along in your life that you are. Or you make, you said you make a bad decision with a friend, or you make a bad decision with a date, just to show yourself, oh yeah, I'm still unworthy. And so we have to go back. And with this work, that's what's so wonderful about theta healing, is that you're marrying, like I said, this really loving, wise energy with these new powerful messages inside of your subconscious mind. And when from the time you're a little baby till 7, you're in theta healing. You're in the theta brainwave all the time, which is why that childhood is so impactful. And, that we talk about that more than anything, right? Like, oh, this guy's like this. Yeah, he had a bad childhood, right? Like that was 45 years ago. Doesn't matter, because all of those things, the way he was treated, the way he was mistreated, you at that age, you think that everything has to do with you, right? So you're like, oh, they're treating me this way. They're treating me well because I'm a good girl. They're treating me poorly because I'm a bad girl, and those sorts of things. And so you have all of these different kinds of beliefs in here about how unworthy you are if you were mistreated, and everybody's mistreated at some point. So the more you come back, so this is where you can go to shift these things. And I always say, like, theta healing, it can't change your past, but it can change how you react to it, and it can change the decisions you made back then to consider yourself a villain, or consider yourself unworthy, or consider yourself a loser, or whatever it is. And go, no, I just had a baby brain then. That's all that was going on. I was pure love right back then. And somebody, was in a really troubled place and projected something on me that had nothing to do with me. And they were in their own past and playing out something that had nothing to do with me. I just happened to be the player in that moment that got that treatment. But so it wasn't.
What you're saying there, like, what if one of these people that she says is the right one is going through something similar to that themselves?
Yeah. Right.
You know what I mean? So if you can fix yourself, right, then maybe then you can help them, and then maybe a relationship could form if you think that was the right one. You know what I mean?
Well, I think there's a balance between, people say you can't change anybody. You can only change, someone can only change with their own agreement, right? Their own participation, essentially. Okay. And so we know you can help somebody. You can help them change, but they have to come and they have to want to and think whatever these changes are worthy.
But if they see it in you, you know what I mean?
Like, right. By example. Absolutely.
Right. Like, you're, oh, look at how this person did a 180,
Right.
And like, well, what did you do?
Right. Exactly. I want that. What did you do to get that? Right.
Yeah.
And okay, so
Aw,
now we got
I'm
that. I
so
hear you.
I
Well, we
really
can do stuff on. Yeah,
yeah.
I get you.
I know. I mean, we go through it. Like I said, I lost a lot of money. I lost a house. I lost everything. You know what I mean? But
Mhm.
again, this was more important, even
Right.
though it was devastating and heartbreaking and all that. And I was dealing with the emotions, but I was still bringing it back for myself, which put me on a whole nother path again, a whole new path, but a
Right.
guarded path. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
I still have been guarded.
Oh, well, right. But remember, that reaction is a really natural reaction to have. My heart just got broken. What can I do to protect that from happening again? We don't want it to happen again because we hate it. Nobody likes a broken heart. I mean,
Oh God, it's so
no, it's not really fun. And when you get into that place, like you said, when you start valuing yourself more, you start healing that. And then as you're healing that, then other people start noticing you, and and when you can put yourself out there in that kind of way from that place of, no, I really like myself, then you're the kind of person you're going to attract is going to be very different and really cool.
yeah. As she said, that's why she attached to the paranormal, and she's laughing. Hey, paranormal is a good community for the most part, as long as you stick with the right people.
You're right. You just be with people who have a lot of light around them, happy people who are out of light and treat
There's a
themselves
lot of
well.
dark in every community, but in the paranormal, it seems to be a hell of a lot more dark than there is of the light side. So
Yeah, but then if you see a lot of the dark, then you get to see, you spot the bright more often. You see the light more often.
You can, it's just where, whatever, but don't you think it's also like, what are your interests and what, you're sharing your interests. Are you sharing your interest in the macabre? And then maybe that's, some people like scary movies because they think it's so funny, right? My daughter loves them because she thinks they're funny. I would go into a scary movie and I think it's really happening and that, Leatherface is going to saw me in half, that's my nervous system, but hers is like, it's so funny that they made me feel this way. And she loves it and it does nothing to her. God bless her, man. That's really cool.
I try because Bob was like, are you watching a love story? Right? It's like, so he comes in every time. It's like, are you watching a love story? Yeah. It's like, yeah, it's a love story between the ghost. But I mean, sometimes it's like, I don't like the scary, movies, but I do like a good scary movie, but more on the paranormal end, but I do love it. Oh, okay. Thank you. Jets just scored. Damn it.
Oh, the Jets just scored. All right.
Okay. Thank you, Monica.
A little nod to Aaron there.
Yeah. Thanks a lot.
I don't remember who's the Patriots.
I'm a Patriot.
No, I know Patriots quarterback.
Jets.
Who's the quarterback?
Who's the quarterback tonight, Monica? Because Lord only knows.
Okay, I don't know who that. I don't know who it is. I know football players.
Bob, if you're watching, put in who's playing quarterback.
This is an emergency
for the Patriots.
Hang up and dial 911. Let us know who is the quarterback tonight. Who is the quarterback tonight for the Patriots? Save us all.
Do you want to be on every week? Just be like another one of the co-hosts here.
There you go.
Oh my God, hilarious! You are hilarious. And that was part of the video that said there's this person. Al Bundy is playing.
Al Bundy. I have a feeling that might be slightly incorrect. Maybe totally.
A little bit. I don't think
maybe even totally.
Just
very wrong. Very wrong.
Yeah.
God, do I have to look it up myself?
I was about to. Okay, public. No, that doesn't help us at all.
Look it up.
Oops, hang on a second.
Oh, Brissett? I don't know who he is.
Okay. Well, they have 4 new ones this year.
Oh, okay.
Everything is new this year. New coaching staff, new quarterbacks, new everything. But I mean, I don't know. We're still trying to pull it together.
Well, I don't think I have any Patriots on my fantasy football team, so.
Oh, none?
I don't think so.
Okay,
No,
she's thinking
I went
that.
into this not really knowing a lot, and proud of myself. There I go. I'm gone. I had a whole list of people that I thought I was gonna, like 7 deep of every single position, and I was so proud of myself. And when we went into the trade with all of our friends, I got nobody that was on my list and anything.
Well,
So,
I don't blame you,
so
because it's like such a, I mean, it's a new year, a new beginning. It's a new everything.
but I'm so thoroughly entertained by football, so I'm happy.
Bob's,
As long as it makes me happy.
fantasy football team this year was rated #1 in the league, and he didn't even prep for it this year.
That's no, that's not going to be
No
me.
more
I
prepping.
started with a D-, and I'm moving up the ranks, but I started with a D-. So
Oh,
I hear around here is
I
Eagles
hate
and
the
Phillies.
Eagles. I hate the Eagles. I hate any bird team.
Any bird team?
No bird teams.
No Cardinals. Okay, I can't
Nope.
think of any other team. What other teams have birds? I don't
Ravens.
even know.
None of them.
Oh, you're right, Ravens. Okay, Baltimore. It's the other good team though.
Nope.
We can come back to Theta. Oh yeah.
Yeah, let's go back to Theta.
What?
So
What?
let's heal. Our mindset.
Well, what do you want to do? Tell me. What would you like to do?
Oh, well, actually, all right. So what we were
Yeah.
talking about with Carmen, okay, about relationships,
Yes.
self-healing,
Love. Yeah.
self-love, stuff, the self-sabotaging. If you were to do a healing
Yeah.
for our people, could it be
Yes.
based on that, on
Sure.
those things?
Sure. You want to do something on self-love and okay, sure. And relationships, that's what you want?
Yeah. Would that be good? Does that sound good, you guys?
I think it is. Look at this. I have a job where I was working 6 days a week, 70 hours a week. 6 days a week, 70. Wow. Lost myself majorly. I left that job in April. I've been trying to find myself again. I think you found yourself when you left.
Yeah.
So I think you're already there. It's just trying to find something that you want to do. I totally get, but you found yourself. You left that job.
Yeah.
Yay.
Just when you see that Johnny
very empowering. Yeah, because we'll do that. I mean, I swear to God, since I've been here and stopped working, I work more here than I ever did working. You know, it's ridiculous. It's really ridiculous.
You're doing, Monica. You're not even trying. You're doing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
you do.
Absolutely.
But what do you think, Monica? Do you like the idea of that? If she was going to do a healing session like now for you guys, would you want it on that? Would you want it on this, self-healing,
I just need a few yeses and we're on our way.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I think. I don't see
the reaction.
The reaction time is okay. You did the right thing.
Retail in medical field. And Carmen says yes.
Yes. Okay, you did the right thing. Sure. Yeah. Okay.
All right.
There was a thumbs up to go.
Yeah. So now
take off. Okay.
What do you want us to do?
Okay. Well, just sit there and look pretty is most of what you have to do. All right. So basically what's going to happen in a session, and you can tell me how long you want the session for, because we could go for a really long time or just have something very brief. So whatever you want. But is that I'm going to go into the theta meditation, which means I just have a process that I learned over 20 years ago to go into that space. And then I'm going to ask if it's okay to come into your space. You say yes, you two will be our proxies where you'd say something out loud. So you can say yes out loud or in your head, everybody else. And then I'm going to start saying things like, would you like to have an energetic download of a feeling? So that's like, some people don't know what it feels like to be completely loved. Some people don't know what it feels like to be included, right? Or to trust your gut because people have always given them different messages to stay away from that stuff, right? And so when you give permission, first of all, your brainwaves slow down to that theta brainwave state. You're opening up your subconscious mind, and it's coming in a form of unconditional love, basically. And that kind of thing, like what it feels like to be completely loved, what it feels like to trust your gut, those sorts of things. So that's an energetic download. I might say, would you like, and you can tell me what name is good. Should I do inner wisdom? That's fine to do that. When your inner wisdom's version of your perspective on this situation or this issue or whatever, what were you meant to learn from it, from this thing that happened? And the other thing would be, is there a feeling would you like to let go of the resentment you had for your mother, from your inner wisdom's perspective? And then when you say yes, what happens is when you're in the theta brainwave, your mind talks to your body. So it'll let go of that emotion. And we're going to send that all the way up to that universal light, or your inner wisdom's light, all the way up. And then it gets replaced with unconditional love and understanding and compassion. So all the good stuff, we let the spinach out and we bring the ice cream in. So that's how we do it here.
Oh, nice. You are muted.
I know. The dogs are barking. Chocolate ice cream, please.
Because you're
all right, chocolate ice cream.
You say yes with me.
Yes. Okay. So here I go. And then you can tell me how long you want me to play here. All of a sudden I'm getting like a little bit of a dry throat. So I'm going to just have some water.
Okay. Well, how long does it usually take? Like how much time?
We can do 5 minutes. Look, I do this when I work with people, I either work with them for half an hour or an hour at a time.
Well, I want 8 minutes and 30 seconds.
8 minutes and 30 seconds. All right. I'll do the best. I can't promise you on the 30 seconds, but I could do 8 minutes. Definitely do 8 minutes. So funny. I just got that. It's weird. I'm getting that little thing in my throat. I think there's a lot of issues going on. People are a little choked up about it. So apparently I'm getting choked up too.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm going to come into your space if that's okay with you. Is that all right?
Yes.
Yep.
All right. And you may feel something, you may not. Either one is okay. I'm going to tell you, I'm going to feel things in certain places in my body because that's what I've asked for. I've asked for that. And I'm kind of the big witness here for all of this stuff. Okay. And so we're going to start with something called a basic theta healing, which is, like we said, what it feels like to be loved and appreciated and things like that are really yummy. That are the foundation of any healing you get from going to somebody like me, going to a doctor, talking to your friend, taking a walk on the beach, whatever it is. Having these in place helps all of that. Okay. So here we go. So would you like to know what your inner wisdom's unconditional love feels like?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So that's coming into you. Once again, you may feel something, you may not. It's okay. Either way. There we go. And would you like to know that you're deserving of receiving your inner wisdom's unconditional love? Is that okay?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So, and let's show you, would you like to know how to and what it feels like to receive this your inner wisdom's unconditional love?
Yes.
Okay. Swell. Okay. So that's all in there. And this is going to go, and I'll also say this, that I may go quicker than you think you're going, but this will all slow down to your own divine timing, just so you know. So it'll wait for you. And there we go. And would you like to know what your inner wisdom's joy feels like?
Yes.
Yes.
Awesome. And would you like to know that you're deserving of receiving your inner wisdom's joy?
Yes.
And how to and what it feels like to receive it?
Yes.
Yes.
Yay. All right. And would you like to know what your inner wisdom support feels like? This is a good one.
Yes.
Perfect. And would you like to know that you're deserving of receiving your inner wisdom support?
Yes.
And would you like to know how to and what it feels like to receive that?
Yes.
Yay. Okay, good. All right. And would you like to know what it feels like to be a completely healthy 28-year-old person from your inner wisdom's perspective?
Definitely.
Okay. Amen to that. Perfect. And would you like to know what your inner wisdom's acceptance feels like?
Yes.
Yay. And that you're deserving of unconditionally accepting yourself from the inside out.
Yes.
Yes.
All right. And would you like to know what it feels like to unconditionally accept yourself from the inside out from your inner wisdom's perspective?
Yes.
Yes.
All righty. Yahooey. All right. That's good. Let's see. I'm trying to see what else is here. It's coming up. Oh, would you like to know what it feels like to be completely loved by your inner wisdom's perspective?
Yes.
Cool. And that you're deserving of this and it's safe to feel this way.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So there's a funny belief that's coming up that is like if I get all this, everybody else should get it, and everyone else should get it before me. So let's just have your inner wisdom change that and let you know that it's okay for you to have this first. Because a lot of people have it anyways. There we go. Would you like to know what your inner wisdom's abundance feels like?
Yes.
Yes.
And that you're deserving of receiving this.
Yes.
Beautiful. And how to and what it feels like to receive your inner wisdom's abundance.
Yes.
And your inner wisdom's financial abundance.
Yes.
Yay. Okay. So I think there's a parallel here around our communities that the belief is I feel more comfortable giving than receiving, right? There's more control in that, you know? And
Yes.
so is it okay if your inner wisdom changes that to, I feel comfortable giving and receiving?
Yes.
And also give you your inner wisdom's discernment so that you know what's safe to receive. Okay. That's real important. Yay. Okay. Perfect. Nice. And here I just said the word perfect. So there's something that's coming up around perfectionism and people pleasing, which is I have to earn my existence. That's a great belief. Let's change that.
Yes, please.
I'm unlovable. I'm unlikable. No one loves me. I'll never amount to much. People pass me by. People will always pass me by. I'll never get to where I want to go in my life. Is it all right if your inner wisdom changes all of these beliefs?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Yay on that one. These are really important. There's also a feeling of, oh, wow, God hates me. So this is an old belief and I'm unworthy of God. So this is like generations. This might be like 3,000 years old, like this is old. And so let's have your inner wisdom change all those beliefs. Because remember, sometimes the way that religions were taught was that we're unworthy of God and then God loves us anyway. And so we're just going to give you, and it's an old, even if you don't believe in the word God, so to speak, it's such an old belief that it's good to change it with that God word in it.
Yes.
Yes.
There we go. And show you what it feels like to be worthy of God and know that you are worthy of God. It's in every cell of your body. And that you are already what it feels like to know that you're deserving of existence and that you're deserving of good fortune and deserving of good treatment. Oh, and that's where boundaries come in. Here we go. Yay. It's let you know what your inner wisdom's healthy boundaries feel like. There we go. Awesome. And that you're deserving of receiving them, how to and what it feels like to receive them, if that's okay.
Yes.
All right. And that it's safe for you to receive healthy boundaries. And so now when you're in a relationship with somebody who mistreats you, they don't want you to have healthy boundaries. And because then they can't get through as easily. And so let's just have your inner wisdom teach you what you're meant to learn about that.
Yes.
There we go. And show you how vital you are, how valuable you are, what it feels like to be happy for no reason, that it's possible to be happy for no reason. So there's a belief that says I have to have a reason to be happy. Is it all right if that's changed?
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you. That was a really good one. And show you what it feels like to love yourself unconditionally from the inside out, from your inner wisdom's perspective. Would you like that?
Yes.
All right. I deserve to be punished. I deserve to be abused. I deserve to be left. Those are all old beliefs. Is it all right if your inner wisdom changes those?
Definitely.
Yeah. That's good. I deserve to be poor. And then there's also, what is this around? It's like something like being poor is, okay. First of it, it's like when you suffer or when I suffer, I'm close to God. When I'm poor, I'm close to God. Money is the root of all evil. So let's just have your inner wisdom change all of those. There we go. That's good. Those are good to change. And show you, also just help you become a better receiver than you are now. Just open up your capacity to receive unconditional love in all its benevolent forms. How's that? Is that all right?
Yes.
Okay. Just opening up your ability to receive more, and also receive more financial abundance from all benevolent sources. Okay, in the highest and best way with most benevolent outcome, and the highest and best way with grace and ease. That's how we cover or attract. So I keep scratching my face every once in a while. It's because my face gets so tingly from all of the energy.
My neck and my arms are tingling.
Yeah. So there we go.
My ears.
Yep. Yeah. My ears are tingling too. My head starts tingling. But a lot of times it's my face. So it's just, I guess, the most sensitive spot there. And so that you're deserving, what is this? Oh, okay. Would you like to know what healthy romantic love feels like from your inner wisdom's perspective? There we go. Thank you.
Yes.
All right. And would you like to know you're deserving of receiving healthy romantic love?
Yes.
All right. And would you like to know how to and what it feels like to receive healthy romantic love?
Yes.
All right. Would you like to know what healthy paternal love is from your inner wisdom's perspective?
Yes.
That's good. And would you like to know that it's safe to have this and it's possible?
Yes.
Okay. And would you like to know what healthy maternal love feels like
Yes.
from your inner wisdom's perspective? Good. Would you like to know it's safe and possible for you to keep this too and receive this?
Yes.
Okay. And would you like to know what healthy sibling love feels like from God's perspective and from your inner wisdom's perspective?
Yes.
All right. And that's safe to have and safe to keep, safe to receive and possible. There we go. And healthy platonic love. Would you like to know what that feels like from your inner wisdom's perspective?
Yes.
Okay. And that's safe and possible to do so now. There we go. And healthy work relationships from your inner wisdom's perspective. Would you like to know what that feels like?
Yes.
You have one here, so that's easy.
Yes.
And know that it's safe and possible to have this. It is possible to have a work partner and have a life partner and have those partnerships go well.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
And that everyone can use their strengths to help and have their weaknesses compensated by the other person's strengths.
Yes.
That's okay. Yeah. Cool. All right. And then let me see if there's anything else here. I think this is pretty good here. This is a good place to, and let's also, if it's okay with you, just have everybody get a body healing. There we go. Yeah, there we go. And inside of any theta healing session, you do the body healing at the end because then all the beliefs and the feelings are different, so you feel more deserving of receiving it. There we go. Yay. There it goes.
Yes.
Perfect. All right. So there's a little taste. You might feel a little wasted.
I know, right?
A little stoned. A little high.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's not a good time to operate heavy machinery.
All here.
Don't
tingles.
drive while you're
They
doing
came
this.
around here and started into here. In my earlobes.
I remember when I was teaching this basic theta healing class once, and I told everybody, don't do this in the car. You just do this in your, home or wherever. And so the next day, a guy comes in and he goes, you know how you said don't practice theta in the car? He goes, I did. And I got into a little bit of a fender bender, and he goes, but I have to tell you, I've never been so calm in my life after an accident. There's the silver lining.
Right?
Yeah, really
I do.
funny.
I feel good. I don't know. How about you guys? Do you guys feel good?
Oh, I liked it. It was giving me, for me, it was upper body, the trunk. Monica says so relaxing.
So relaxing.
Trunk is like tingling and vibrating. This side of my head is just like,
yeah, I know. I've still got the
going
The
nuts.
tingle. Yeah, I can feel that. All I can hear. I can feel all that. It's happy energy. It's really happy, loving. Yeah, it's happy, loving energy here to help. Here to help you in any way. So relaxing. Yes. Okay.
I like that.
Feeling of peace. Nice.
I like that.
Lighter and easier is something. Yeah. And remember that as you move forward into your day and your week too, is notice what's easier and lighter because of it. Because what you focus on just gets bigger, it shows up more in your life, what you focus on, right? It gets bigger in your life. And so when you notice what's changing in a really positive way, what's easier, you're like, ooh, and you start riding that wave, you start surfing it. It's very cool.
That's exactly it. Ride that wave. Because when you
Mhm.
feel like this and you feel so good and so calm and so centered, like I feel like this after I do my meditations
Yeah.
and my groundings and things like
Mhm.
that. I feel like that. And it's like, yeah, I want to keep feeling like that, And then
Mhm.
again, sometimes you do procrastinate doing it. It's like, oh, well, I don't have time to meditate right now. I'm not going to do it right now. I'll do it
Right.
later, and then
Uh-huh.
you suffer. And then it's like, and then you'll all of a sudden be like, all right, I just need 2 minutes to myself and just, and it could be that quick,
Yeah.
just to flush all this stuff and get it out from everybody else. And you feel so much better.
Yeah, it's a pillar in a holistically successful life, to carve out that time where you're taking care of your nervous system. And look, we take care of our nervous system by exercising. I walk, I do exercise, I like to hike, I like to do different things. And the meditation does something very different. And I meditate also, including this work. This work is a form of a meditation.
Yeah.
But like I do something called Siddharshan Kriya Yoga breathing, sky breathing. And it's a yogic breathing that's been around for 40 years. And so I do that to take care of my nervous system. Then I do a little meditation afterwards. And I do that every day. And it's a big deal to have a form of it. And however much time you think that you have, I remember I was talking to, most people say I don't have time for meditation, or they say that it's too hard, I'm not good at it. And it's sort of like saying I'm bad at a marathon. Of course you are. You can't run 26 miles when you start out. You can run a block, maybe you can run 5 steps. It's the same thing with meditation and breathing. Start out for a minute. Start out for, then go to 2, then go to 3. And the more you get into that, the more your body just relaxes naturally, and it brings yourself into that state of calm and love. I wanted to. I have a story I was just thinking about. This one woman I work with, and I work with people in different kind of ways. Sometimes people come to regularly, like a therapist, once a week, every other week, or whatever. Or some people come to me, they've got a project, like this is going on and I want to fix this, and then I'll come back to you in 6 months when something else is going on. Whatever, however they want to do that. And there's a woman that I work with, and she grew up in an abusive, emotionally abusive household. So as this little girl, she had to walk on eggshells to, and she always thought she was wronged, that she was responsible for everyone's feelings, everything, everyone and everything. And whatever happened, she got blamed for it. And as she grew up, she thought she had to earn her existence, which is what we were talking about before. So she achieved a lot. So she could come back and say, look at my report card, right? I'm such a good girl. And when she got out into the world, she started attracting bosses like this. So she would go where people would say, oh, you're brilliant, we really want you to help us out. And then the minute she got into the company, they would turn on her and then blame her for all their problems, even though they hired her to solve them. And we started doing this work together and started just healing this trauma that she had gone through as a child, because that's a big deal, right? And healing the trauma she took on from her parents and everything like that. And as we got through that, she started doing more self-care and more things that she loved to do. She started meditating too, all these sorts of things. And more recently, she got a job that they loved her. They wanted her to help. And now the difference is she's got an amazing boss. She's got amazing people she's working with. They're acknowledging and grateful for her, and she's making a really good living. And this is the first time in her work history, really, that this has happened. And so this is the kind of transformation that you can make when you've got these really deep-seated things that are happening. It was just really wonderful to watch her and see how much more alive she is, and see how much more she loves herself, and see how much more she leans into herself to help herself out. And it's just showing up. And you've got to get that. It's like a frequency, and it has to start from the inside, and then it starts showing in the outside in your world. And it's shown big time in hers. It's great.
Yeah. Well, that all of what you're saying in relation to what Monica's saying here, like in meditation help with autoimmune diseases and stress adds. Yes.
Yeah.
If you can kill the stress by the meditation, and she's giving you a free meditation right here too.
Right.
Meditation. So think theta.com/love-yourself meditation. Again, I'm saying that all for the audio only version, but go there and check it out. But it is true. It is true, Monica, especially Monica. Yeah, if you can do theta healing, if you can do meditations, if you can get rid of the stress, you're not going to be cured, of an autoimmune disease. However, it can be, the symptoms can be lessened drastically.
I think there's a I just want to add on to what you're saying, that there's an emotional root to every disease. There's lots of roots, right? There's the environment, there's your genetics, there's whatever you've been eating and breathing and everything like that. And there's a big emotional root and an energetic root. And sometimes when you really hit the core issue, that your body kind of takes care of everything. And sometimes I always say that you want to come at it from all angles. When you've got something like an autoimmune disease, you're literally beating yourself up, right? Yeah. And so when did that start? When did that start? And go back and figure it out. But maybe it's ancestrally, maybe it's slavery, maybe it's, there's stuff back there that's so far back. Maybe it's in this lifetime, whatever it is. And when you find the root cause of that, what it does is it frees you. It frees your body from holding on to that emotion and all of those sorts of things. And it frees itself up to heal itself better, so that it helps what you're doing with your doctor. It helps what you're doing with your therapist. It helps what you're doing at work. Like, it helps everything. Yeah. And my mom, when I was 17, was diagnosed with late stage 3 ovarian cancer. And at that point in time, that was it. That they basically said that she had 18 months to live with chemotherapy, 6 months without. Now, I didn't know that part. Thank God I didn't know that right then, but they did. And so she did everything she could to get better. So that meant double dose of chemotherapy. She had a nutritionist. Then she had a meditation teacher. She had an acupuncturist, an acupressure person. She had a psychic healer. She went like everything you can do, conventional and unconventional. She went for it and left no stone unturned. And she got surgery. She did everything. Yeah. And she got better. And she lived another 30 years, never had a recurrence. And back then in 1984, 85.
It's like unheard of, right?
Yeah. Like that was a done deal. They could have just signed her off and just said, you know what, and
most people do.
Right. And no, she got to see her kids get married. She got to have relationships with her grandkids. She had a really good life. Right. And so she got that gift from there. And so sometimes when you can get the emotional root and then your body does it. But I always say, because of what happened with my mom, I know that the doctor's office isn't the only place to go to for healing. Yeah. No. And B, do everything you can. I had this one girl who had herpes, a young woman, and she'd been treated by her doctor. She was being treated by her doctor. And in my work, we say that viruses are all about unworthiness. So with her, it was like, okay, so let's find out what the root is of the unworthiness. Went back to here, whatever was going on with her, and it was healed. And the next time she went to her doctor, he's like, he tested her. She didn't have herpes anymore. And it was an amazing moment. She didn't have it. And that was a great moment. I had another person who was diagnosed with a rare form of cancer, and that metastasized a lot. And so she has a reputation of metastasizing, excuse me. And so they gave her this test to see how, what was the chance that was going to happen to her. Mm-hmm. And the scale was 1 to 10, 10 being the most. And she got an 18 on that. And it wasn't a great day. And then when she found that out. And so then they said, look, we're going to do this one more time in 2 weeks. And we're going to then decide based on that test too, what we're going to do, like how we're going to address this. How are we going to address this? Right. And so all she did in those 2 weeks was she meditated and she saw me. And we did all the work we could do together, whatever we thought was at the bottom of all of this stuff. And, we had to help her heal the fear too, because it's your body. That's scary. And anyone who knows is that anything, when it's your body, it's really scary. And so we'd get through all that. She took the test 2 weeks later, and it went from an 18 to a 0.8.
Wow.
In 2 weeks. No medical intervention, just those two things that were involved. And so you can see, and she's still going to a doctor. This isn't saying you use everyone. And this is what I love about this work, because Vienna Steibel, who's the founder of this work, is like, this is a lovely support, a powerful support to everything that you're doing, and do everything that you can. When you're sick, when something's going on, when you have a challenge, do everything that you can. And any modality to me that says you can't do anything but this one is not necessarily one that's a good idea, because need to, it's your life, it's your body. You got to do everything you can to get better. Right. And that's why I like this too, that there's no ego involved in here. It's just like, how can I be of support? If you want to do this alone, do it alone. If you want to do it with everything else, do it with everything else. What feels right to you? That's what you do.
And experiment, try. In the meditation, you're not going to be good at it at the beginning, and your brain is going to go off into 500 different directions, and they say, sure, it's like you can't.
Right.
But if you do a guided meditation, and work yourself into those types of things, you know what I mean? So if you need to listen and focus, there's millions out there, it's just giving you one tonight, and for free.
It's in the chat.
And how I always say, if it's free, it's for me.
If it's free, it's for me.
And the thing is, meditation doesn't always have to be sitting in a quiet place. And I always say, never tell my husband is I meditate when I'm doing dishes, because I'm focusing on the water is running, and I'm a water sign, so everything kind of goes there, and that's where I just sort of block everything else out. Nothing sort of enters into my brain, and that's when. So depending on how many dishes I get to do, it depends on how long that meditation is for. But I do the traditional meditation where I sit with my music in my sound or music in my ears, and then I go into my little la la land, and I go there. But meditation doesn't have to be one specific way. People do meditation walks out in the woods, just listening to the birds, the trees, whatever.
Find what for many different reasons, and it could be for health, it could be for wealth, and it could be for relationships, and it could be to better your meditation techniques. It can be for whatever you need, and it's going to change daily. Our needs change all the time. Our physical and our mental states and our spiritual states are changing. We're evolving. So you're not going to do last year, I'm not doing the same meditations I did last year as I'm doing now, and you go and you progress and you progress and you progress. So,
and this meditation too, sorry if I interrupted you here. This meditation is like that healing session. It's a lot of energetic downloads to bring you into a different place. So it's not a meditation in the sense of the same sort of thing, but it's relaxing. It's bringing these feelings in to help you love yourself more and more. And I think it was Maharishi Mahesh Yogi, who was the founder of TM, said that your learning changes with your consciousness. So the more that it has a cumulative effect. Right. So you feel, the first time you feel more love, and maybe it's now at a 3 or a 4 or a 5, and now next time it's going to be at a 10 or a 15 or whatever. And so that's what's so great about it, is that it's just going to add on. It doesn't matter that it's the same words each time. You're going to have a different experience of it because you're going to be different.
Okay. Thank you. All right. It's more important to pay attention here than it is to pay attention. Find out if they're losing right now. It's okay. I can find out later. So pay attention more here. This is definitely more.
Well, that's the thing she was saying. This is so interesting. She lost track of the game.
This is way more important.
Karen wins.
But I mean, we can use this for even weight loss and things like that, right? And food addictions, like to chocolate.
Well, it's a comfort food, right? We're looking for comfort. So, and something, you were talking about way before that I think kind of dovetails with this, is when we were talking about procrastination. I wanted to say something, and and then he didn't, because we got into something else interesting, is that it's about overwhelm, and it's an emotional regulation issue. Procrastination is an emotional regulation issue. So is eating for comfort. And so you're feeling overwhelmed or something, and then you want to feel a certain way. So you French fries, mashed potatoes, chocolate, those sorts of things. Whatever it is for you is just a little something that helps you feel a little better. And it just depends, obviously, how far you take it, right? If you do it in balance and you're like, you know what, it's fine. The way I'm eating for comfort is all right. It's not harming my body. But when we're talking about to a point where it is harming your body, then we got to look, what are the root causes of that? And in addictions, there's a lot of trauma, a lot of shame, a lot of abuse. Now, abuse is an interesting word, because essentially it means anything that somebody wants it to mean. Because you could say pass the salt and you're like, oh my God, she said that so mean. And she said it the same way every single time. Or it could be something that's physical or really emotional, right, that you experience all the time.
Spiritual, emotional.
And right. And so you can go into the root causes and heal those. And I had someone who I worked with, and who I still work with, when he decides to get a project-oriented guy, and he had like a lot of trauma. He had tons of trauma, and he had war trauma. So when he was a kid, he was in a war and they were bombing, and he was hiding out from that. And then when he was a young man, he was enlisted in the Vietnam War. So he had the bookends of being a civilian and being a soldier, and the trauma, plus whatever else happened in life, right? Which we all have things to recover from. Yeah. And so where it showed up for him in his money. And so when all of that was, when he finished his tour and he got into work and whatever, he got into a lot of situations where he wasn't making very much money. At one point in time, he even became destitute. And we started working together, and he was coming back from that, obviously, but we started working together and just clearing all these traumas, healing all these traumas from him as a child all the way through. And he just started, embodying himself more, being more in his body. And he started realizing that he's a really brilliant guy. And he's like, I'm really interested in investing. And he started reading Wall Street Journal and all these other journals and doing all this sort of stuff. He started investing, and he started making money and making money and making money. And as he says now, that he won't be able to spend all the money that he has in his lifetime. And he's also able right now to give money to other people to help them out without affecting his station in life.
What's his name?
Would you like his ATM?
we could use a hacker. We could use him.
Yeah, right. But that's a situation where trauma, had affected this part of his life, and he was able to resolve that. Look, we've all got places that have moved and that we've healed really well, and then we've all got places that we're working on.
Yep. And the thing is, I'm going to speak for me. Mm-hmm. I may not know all of my trauma points, but I know that there are things that I do that I need to have the healing done with. Do I attempt to do it? Yeah. You go lay down.
Can I say?
I'm going to leave that up there right now for a little bit. Yeah. So this is what she's doing. She's doing a free 45-minute preview on Zoom of her 4-week course, Prosperity Breakthrough, on Wednesday, October 2nd at 12 p.m. PT.
Yes, okay. Specific. That's going to be fun, because it's going to be a 45-minute version of what you experienced at 8 minutes of, which is a lot of different downloads, helping people clear their abundance blocks so that they can feel more health and more vitality, and receive more money and receive more, love in their life and self-love, because it's all a part of it. So it's really fun.
Positive affirmations, and the more downloads that you can bring into yourself, the better you will be all the time.
Yes, absolutely. It's a fun thing to do to heal those root causes. Yeah.
Yeah, the root causes, and they can. I wanted to talk more about that too, like the ancestral things, because we do have things that go way from our past. People call it different things. People can call it ancestral curses. They can call it whatever. Whatever it is, it exists, and it does come through and embeds into us, and they can be removed. And and it would be like the difference between night and day. It's like removing fears, you know, and blockages, you know. So
Right.
that is a root cause to certain issues that you're dealing with now. You would know what they are if you're the one dealing with them, you know, but she can
Right.
have them, you know.
Absolutely. And also, you know, I learned about the curses really are, they're really just thought forms that somebody threw at you, right? And somebody took it on because they felt guilty, like they deserved it in some sort of way. And so if you don't believe in it, if you have a boundary up and you don't feel guilty about whatever it is they're trying to curse, someone's saying, you know, may you be poor the rest of your life, whatever. You're like, that's not going to do it, right? Right? You're like, oh, that's fine, right? But the ancestral stuff here, I'll say, theta healing works on 4 different levels. So the core level, which is everything in this lifetime that's going on, our ancestral level. So everything, you know, we inherit our ancestors' trauma, we inherit their belief systems, all of that sort of thing. We inherit their joy. We inherit a lot of things, gifts from them too. And then our history level, which is basically our collective consciousness and our past life level. And then the soul levels is the deepest part of all of those. So it's basically what's here, what was there, and what's all around us, right? And on a level. And so you have a lot of people that are sitting on your board of directors when you're making decisions, when you're moving through your life. They're all there. And when you make snap decisions, you know, you're still the president, as it were, and you're still making that final decision, but you're influenced by all of these things that are going on with you. So, you know, if we go back to something that happened ancestrally, you know, there can obviously be traumas there that affect your decisions. There can be, if there was a curse there that somebody took on because they thought, oh, okay, I'm going to be unhappy the rest of my life, or I'm going to be poor. Well, maybe one of those things, that thought form got in your head, I'm going to be poor the rest of my life. And that's the version of it that you have. And so it's real good to change that so that you can aim yourself towards the North Star, you know?
Yeah. I mean, I think this is wonderful. I really seriously do. Excuse me. I don't know what's going on. My throat all of a sudden.
Yeah. Well, there's energy.
Yeah. That's too much. You're like, calm down.
Calm down.
But look, guys, go to thinktheta.com. Seriously, check out our website. This again, thinktheta.com /love-yourself-meditation. Go there and check that out. All right, that's a longer version of what she did tonight, which I'm still feeling it. I'm feeling like I'm feeling something different now. I'm feeling a little like giddy-ish.
Yeah.
So you know what I mean? Like
that's good.
No, that's not Gina normally. I mean, she's cute always, but this is the giggly teenager.
There's a before and an after picture, and we're seeing the after.
Yeah, right.
I also call it like the interfacial, that you know, that you just, your eyes light up, you know, you feel like you look younger, you're brighter, I can see the eyes.
Well, we'll have to talk every day.
Yeah, that's all right.
We'll take up 30 years by next week. But you can go and check her out on Instagram. So Instagram.com /thinktheta/ and you can go to Think Theta on Facebook and find her there. And don't forget about October 2nd, which is her free course, Prosperity Breakthrough. And back to my comments. Oh, wait, and we keep hitting the wrong buttons here. So explain to me what's going on here with these. So we have
what's going on with making life happen.
Yes. What goes on when they sign up for these programs?
Sorry, I had to take some water.
Oh,
so I changed it to making business life happen, actually, and so because business and life happened at the same time. So basically, I think there's 25 different theta healing meditations in here for everything that happens while life moves forward, or all the life that happens when you're in business. You know, so there's theta healings on trusting your gut. There's theta healings on grief. There's theta healings on healing your family relationships, and all the things that kind of happen while you're moving in your business and life, so that you don't have to do them all at once. There's a lot of them there. They can be anywhere from 5 minutes to 25 minutes long. and you're just listening for what's going on with you right now. You can go down the list and go, oh, I want to work on that thing over there, and I want to work with, that thing. And that can make it so much easier for you,
Grief
and it's really fun.
Grief has been pretty brutal.
Yeah.
Last year I lost my dad. This year I lost my mom. I just lost my dog. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
wow.
And like traumatic, very traumatic. And before that, I lost the other dog that was the last link to the husband that I lost.
That's a lot.
Yeah. And in the meantime, you got to work. So, you gotta just keep going. Especially when my husband died, that was the worst, because there was no time to grieve. He was only 50. So it was no time to grieve. And it was no idea, and he was like half my business.
Wow.
And so it was like, okay, now I got to plan a funeral. I got to close down his business and then keep my businesses going and keep the house running and do everything and close down all his jobs and, the people that are trying to get you and all that kind of stuff. So it's like, I had to go into way work mode, and put the grieving way over here.
And that's the thing about grief. It's such a powerful emotion that if you don't deal with it, it will deal with you at some point in time. But the wonderful thing about grief is it will wait. It's like it sits on your couch and watches cable TV and makes long distance phone calls there until you're ready They're like, I'll be here for decades. I'm fine. I'm good. I'm comfy. Right. And so once you start allowing yourself, and like you said, when in those moments, if you have too many things to do and you've got kids to raise and you've got businesses to close down and you've got these things, sometimes the survival instinct is to just shut it down because I can't do this right now. Because if I do, I'm going to fall apart, and then there's not going to be anybody to hold this house up. And so it's a reasonable place to go to in those moments. And it's just when you finally start getting space in certain places that it comes out. And I remember one of the first big losses that I had with my stepfather, and that I noticed that I'd be driving or I'd be in the shower, and then all of a sudden I just start crying, just be like, bah! All of a sudden happened to me with, I lost my mom 9 years ago and my father last year. So, going through that first year of grief, and it's much more raw than any other time. And just allowing that and giving it space. I love doing this work with grief too. And I've helped people with when their children, when a child has died, and help them just understand. I had a man who had a daughter who was 23 years old and died of a drug OD. Now she's 23. He can't do anything. He couldn't stop her from her addiction. He couldn't, she wasn't 10 years old or in his purview at all. And so you just watch it happen and you just wait. And it's just such a powerless place to be. And then you feel guilty, like you're responsible because you're a parent. And we just had to go there with him and just really change this. I'm responsible for her, that he had to let go of the fact that there wasn't anything that he could do. He had to be able to accept that, that, and let go of, he had no control. Right. And
is a huge thing,
and it really helped him a lot. Just really understand what was the issue that she had and what was going on, what he was meant to learn from her journey. And it just helped him move on really well. And it's a big, powerful thing when it happens. And you said when your husband is so young that there's no accounting for sudden death. You don't have a wind up. You just have a pitch. And it's all of a sudden there. So there's so much shock and there's so much trauma. And then you've got to put a pause on it, and so and then it just comes up later, but it will come up, which is the beauty of it. Also, you just have to realize and have the awareness to know this may have been 10 or 20 years ago or whatever, however much time it's been, but it'll come up like it was yesterday because you didn't have the day after or the day of to be that way.
Yeah. At first it was like this. It was like, okay, I put all that aside so that I could do all the things I needed to do and still work and still, with the house and all that kind of stuff. Get rid of all the equipment I didn't need, just keep the equipment I need, all that kind of stuff. And and it would have hit me when I was at someone else's funeral.
Yeah.
It's
a trigger.
Oh my God. I'd have like the biggest meltdowns at those things that I would have to actually leave. you know,
Mhm.
and that's when it hit me. And my sister was like, we were at, I think it was my aunt's funeral, and she's just like, what is going on? You know,
Yeah.
you know, we went outside, and it was just this
Yeah.
massive sobbing thing. And I don't never cry like that. You know, I just don't. And
Well, think about when somebody says, this person just died in my life. What they say is, my dad died when I was this age, and I remember this. Everyone in a very loving, compassionate space will say, that happened to me too. We go immediately back to the death that we experienced in that moment. I don't care who,
right,
it could be, your a neighbor's, husband, like somebody somewhere, it doesn't matter where it is, but if they're in your circle of influence, you go, wow, that reminds me of this death. And
right.
so, and that gave you that safe avenue to express your grief and still be able to keep it together in your life, right? And then you were able to do that. So it's a beautiful moment, and I've definitely had those too, where I'm at another funeral, and I'm crying about my mom, or I'm crying about my grandfather. Like
Right.
you just don't know when it'll pop up, and every time it happens, it's saving your life. So because it's such a powerful, grief is too powerful to ignore. It's just too powerful. You have got to address it at some point.
Yeah.
At some point. People can't necessarily do it in the moment, because like you said, when you have then your plate is full.
Overwhelming. You know, it's like, okay,
Very overwhelming.
how are you going to allow yourself, okay, I'm going to grieve my mom. I'm going to grieve my dad. I'm going to grieve my husband. I'm going to grieve my dogs. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
I think
You can only push
cried
grief
more
down for so
when
long.
my dog died than I did when my husband died. Only
Right, because it's easier. That's the opening, but that doesn't. You're crying for your husband too.
everything.
You're not just crying for your husband.
Yeah.
For everything. But it was just like, oh my God, you know, it is. That's a tough one. That's a brutal subject for many, many, many people. Because I mean, hey, let's face it, we're not going to make it.
Right. Either we aren't or somebody else isn't. And so we've got to be able to,
So we have to deal with that fact. Yeah. And even for our own mortality, we do have to deal with it.
Absolutely.
And that's another tough bullet to bite,
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? It always happens to everyone else but us. Mortality is an interesting subject. I remember when, after my mom died, I started reading near-death experience books. And they were really wonderful. And they were actually very, very comforting to me to go to, for people who had been had those experiences, and they were similar and whatever. And it was like, oh, okay, there's some place to go. That's okay. All right, I can do that. And I think that sometimes you feel that way when somebody very close to you dies. You're like, oh, I want to go now. Like I just want to be there in that moment. I want to be with them, right? I don't want to necessarily go, but I want to be with them right now because they're not here. And so it's a very, very powerful place, but there's really remarkable things and remarkable healing that comes from healing from grief. Since we can't avoid it, since someone is going to die, we can't avoid it. It might as well just also have this other profound effect on us that could be really beautiful. And it's a profound place for growth. And that's why I love working with people around this issue, because we're going to that subconscious level, and that loving energy inside of it really helps you shift that and understand and be able to be in acceptance, right? Because it just is. We can't, Byron Katie says that the only reason that something's supposed to happen is because it did. Radical acceptance. It's not good or bad, it's just, it happened. So I can't say, I'm glad that this happened because it was supposed to happen. I wasn't.
I know.
I wasn't. It was very sad.
I know.
It just happened. So you've got to be able to get to those two words, it happened, because everything else, that denial, right? All the stages, the denial, anger, bargaining, depression.
When you grow up, you think, your parents are going to live forever, and
right.
all of a sudden they don't. And then it's
they don't. Yeah.
And it makes you think about, everyone else and yourself, and oh my God.
Right, exactly. And it's, it's just wonderful to heal from. It just feels good to heal from it because it can be heavy. And so when you lighten up, it's your appreciation of the lightness inside of life and your appreciation of joy is so much deeper
Yep.
after that too, you know?
This is
And
why I got
feeling,
into the paranormal, was all of that types of things, you know,
uh-huh,
starting from a very young age. You know, my
uh-huh.
grandfather died and he showed himself at the foot of my bed. I think I was like 5, 6, maybe. I don't know.
Wow.
And he's telling me, he was a little Italian guy with a stutter, and he says, "They're grabbing my feet. They're grabbing my feet." And I get
Yeah.
up in the morning and I tell my mom, I'm like, "Mom, you know, Grandpa was in my room last night saying they're grabbing his feet and they're doing this, right?" And she's bawling because he passed away that night. And
Uh-huh.
he was at home hospice. And it was a huge Italian family, and we used to go there every weekend. But while he
Uh-huh.
was home hospice, we weren't allowed to go.
The
All of
kids
my
weren't right.
cousins, yeah, no kids, you know.
Mhm.
But that's what he was saying, that there were gremlins at the foot of his bed and they were grabbing his feet. He was telling all my aunts and uncles this, and she's like, "How do you know that?" You know, and I said,
Uh-huh.
"Because Grandpa told me they're grabbing his feet. I just told you he was in
Uh-huh.
my room," you know. And she just kind of lost it. But then also after that, after my grandmother died, she showed herself, and her mouth was moving, but I couldn't hear anything. I don't know what she was saying.
Wow.
So, I mean, it's really weird, but it
That's
always,
wild.
I mean, I can see it in my head just like it was yesterday, you know,
Uh-huh.
and it did, you know, strike that thing for me to look into that more, you know, like that was
Yeah.
my calling.
That was your curiosity spark.
Do you still see spirits then? Do you still see people?
I can see them occasionally.
Uh-huh.
I hear them because I had a near death experience. I have
Okay.
this tone thing. When I know that they come in, I have 3 different tones. I have a low, medium, and a high. The
Oh,
high and the
great.
medium are good. The low, not so good. You know, just doesn't mean it's a demon or anything like that. Just means it's more negative, like a ghost. I mean, it's someone that
Uh-huh.
dies and hasn't crossed over as a ghost. Someone that just died and crossed over and can come back as a spirit. And they're usually a lot higher, a lot, you know, where they're like an angel or a guide, or your
Mm-hmm.
parents, if they've crossed
Mm-hmm.
over, they can come back and watch over you and give you
Mm-hmm.
signs, like, you know, like my dad left me this nice big feather in the middle of my hallway. I have nothing that has feathers in this house.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah. Uh-huh.
You know, I mean, there's signs everywhere. I mean, but I do paranormal investigations. I help people, you know, things like that.
That's
So I
wonderful.
know that there is something, and I
Oh,
saw a
yeah.
glimpse of it, you know, of what there could be waiting. And Mama D and I, we were doing some kind of aura, Ra Reiki. What is it called? With Raven.
Past life regression.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just stuff like that, but it's a
Yeah.
raw or something rather.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's still, it's energy. It's energy.
Right, right. Yeah. Yeah, well, that's the beauty of this life is that I believe the same thing, that these energies are all around us at all times, and for the most part we have pretty thick boundaries, so we don't see them, and then some people have some gifts where the veils are a little thinner right there and they can see things. I see things, but I see them in my
In
as if
my
in my head. I don't see
Mhm.
them
Yeah,
like I can see if there's ancestors in the room. I know,
yeah.
if my mom is with me or my father's with me, and I can feel them and I can see them in my head sitting next to me, but I don't see them like a glass of water. I don't see them as a
Yeah.
3D object. Um,
Like when I
so,
bought this house, I saw the man up on the 3rd floor
uh,
very briefly, but I saw him distinctly when I
uh,
walked into that room, and I know that that's his room up there. You know,
right.
he was trying to take my books down here. So, like, I realized, you know, and I talked to my neighbor, and I'm like, you know, my book keeps going on the floor. I was blaming Bob for it. I'm like, why are you throwing my book on the floor? You know? And I'm thinking back to myself, and it wasn't. And it was like my only Western civilization book in the house. You know what I mean? And that's what he liked. But his room upstairs was floor to ceiling books. And
Oh my gosh, that's
neighbor
great.
actually helped his widow to get rid of all those books, right? And
Hmm.
take them away. And he was upset over that. So now I buy
Uh,
books for him. I buy books for freaking put them upstairs in the room to
You're
keep
like, we keep you happy. I had one time I went into there was a friend who, when we went to her friend's house, and it was in Los Angeles. There's this one big neighborhood that I think it's about, I don't know, about 8 square blocks or so, that has some of the oldest houses in California and in Los Angeles. Sorry, in Los Angeles. They're Victorian houses. They're amazing.
Beautiful. Yeah.
And so walked into this guy's house, and he left it, you know, like the stairs, you know, they're kind of a little steep in there, you know,
Yeah.
and just gorgeous high ceiling. There's this amazing house and with all these different colors and decorations and crown molding, and just it was gorgeous, just in this way of like a 130-year-old house. And I walked in, and I'm getting near the stairs. I'm like, oh, there's an old lady who lives here, isn't there? She's still here. And he said, oh yeah, she opens and closes the doors all the time.
Right.
I never saw her, but I totally got a picture in my head. She was upstairs. I wasn't going there. She can have the upstairs. I didn't need to meet her, but I knew she was there. And he's like, oh yeah, she's around a lot.
If I go away, like if I go to Massachusetts to visit my family, Bob won't come up on the second floor. He stays down on the first floor, you know,
with the TV blaring. Like, I'm all right. I'm totally.
There's like 3 residents, good, you know, solid spirits that are here, and a whole bunch that come in and out, right? But they don't let him come up here. They'll slam doors and stuff, and he'll be like, I'm out.
That's all right.
You know,
you can have it.
They don't bother me, not one little bit, you know, and I never have, you know. That's all.
Great.
Get up on the 3rd floor, you know.
That's really great. Really great. Yeah, I haven't seen. I saw one once when I think it was in my late 20s or something, and I woke up at like 3 or 4 in the morning or something, and I looked at the side of the bed, and I saw the shadow of a girl just kind of sitting here, kind of like this on the bed, and I kept rubbing my eyes because I was like,
yeah,
what?
Right. You gotta go in.
After the 3rd time, I went for number 4, and she was gone. But it was just like a shadow, but I knew there was something there, and I got that like you do in a dream where you see something and you know the full meaning of it. I'm like, oh, that's a girl. Like, oh, she's just sitting here. And I think she just wanted me to help her go. She was just sort of here for a little bit, then she left.
Well, you know why? Because that's your guides telling you why she's here, you know?
Right.
So
yeah, it was an interesting, that was way before Theta. That was way before. That was at least 7 years before I even got into it. So it was kind of interesting. And I've never seen one since.
It's a special mind. And like Mama does like the Reiki stuff, you know what I mean? Do that remotely and stuff, like, you know, like you can do the healing remotely.
Yeah, you don't need to be in the room with people. You just need to connect to their energy, and you're good.
Yep.
You're absolutely good. That's what's so fun. And I talk to people from all over the world, so that's really fun too. And I see people in person, so it's nice.
I just did a house clearing, you know, and I had to go back and go seal the property too, because a little boy was getting attacked in his house. So
wow.
Usually you do this big investigation and find out who it is and what it is, and you know, and I go there with Bob, and Bob's like, well, you know, we don't want to harm you. I'm like, well, that's not exactly true. Right. Very, very truthful with the spirit. It's like, you know, because I kicked everybody out and I said, no, I'm going to do what I do, you know, because I gave the spirit a chance to talk, you know, and it didn't. So I said, well, then that's it. You're out.
You're out.
You're not coming back, you know. So I don't want that. You know, I gave you a chance, you know. So let's see. Can we live together? Yes, no, you know. And if there's no, then you're out.
Oh, right. And they need to be sent to, like, there's that group of people who have passed away and for whatever reason missed their moment, right? Or didn't know and were confused. And maybe it was like a sudden death and they just didn't know, or it was an overdose or some sort of thing where their awareness wasn't quite right. And so they need help. They need help to get there. Yeah. And that's important.
And this one wasn't that. I mean, because I do that a lot, but this one was more. It was an angry man. He died, and his wife sold the house, and there's a new family that moved in, and their son was in jail, and she was selling the house. She was using the money to get the kid out of jail, and he didn't agree with that. So he was just a very angry spirit. You know, so that was his deal. So I just banished him from the property. You know, I tried to get him to, you know, go. I gave him a shot, but no. But he doesn't want to listen. He doesn't want to deal because he's still hanging on to anger, just like us now. you know,
Right. Right.
like what
Yeah.
you do is you're
Yeah.
clearing away these things, okay? Because fear, resentment, anger, jealousy, lust, love, you know, all these things, human emotions will bind a spirit to that.
Right.
And you need to release that in the spirit. So I'm doing that for them, which you're doing for us, the living, you know?
Right.
So it's just a little different version of, but we all need it, you know,
Right. Right.
now
Yeah.
and
True.
later. We all need it.
Gotta get rid of our baggage. The more we let go of our baggage, the more we find out who we really are and really get to the
That,
essence
yeah. And then you
of who
won't be
we are.
stuck when it is your time. You won't be stuck here.
Right.
You can just move on, you know, which is actually what you really want to do.
Mm-hmm.
So we just
That's amazing.
some need a little convincing.
Yeah.
A nudge, a nudge.
It's a nudge. That's so funny.
Yeah. But we are, oh my God, we only have 10 minutes left. And my gosh.
Nice.
So,
but who's counting?
I know. I'm so
looked at
sorry
the
to get
clock.
off on my shiny ball moment. I
Well,
don't even know how that happened.
that's what's great about this show is we end up having like-minded people on the show. The guests might come in for you as Theta Healing, but we did other healing as well, because talking about the things that we go through,
Right.
it will help somebody else heal.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. And everybody's got to figure out what's best for them. It's got to
Yeah.
be in alignment for them. And you've got to find somebody who you really trust, who can be in that space with you.
Yep.
And that's what I love about this work, because I like being in that space. I think it's such an honor to be with somebody in that and have the trust of somebody when somebody's going into that kind of state. And I take that I don't take that lightly. I feel very honored and very grateful that people trust me enough to be in that space with them. Yeah,
exactly. They're in that vulnerable spot, and they know that they feel comfortable. They can trust you. Oh, trust me. Totally get that.
Right. Yeah. Right. And this is a space that I like to be in. Like, to be having these conversations with people and helping them find out what's at the bottom of their issues and helping them lift that out, understand, learn what they're meant to learn, and move on into something that they really deserve, into a life that they deserve even more than the ones that they have, and just bring in more of that happiness and more of that lightness and more of that sense of like, oh yeah, this is what it's supposed to be like. When you feel those moments and you have those moments to help you propel you forward, it's such a gift. And I feel like it's such an honor to be witness to that. It's really fun.
It is.
Yep. And I'm putting up all your links again here to find you on Instagram and Facebook, and the meditation that you're giving, the free 45-minute preview on Zoom.
And you have to go in there and reserve your spot. So I put the link into the chat room. So make sure, if you're interested, go in and reserve the spot. Yeah,
reserve your spot, and then you'll get the information about it. Yes.
For those people, for the Zoom class, like it's at a time that I'm working. So for me, I'm not going to take up a space that somebody else is going to be able to use.
Well, actually, actually you can, because you'll get the replay the next day. If you sign up, you'll be on the mailing list. So you get the replay the next day. So that's what look, you can pick any time and somebody's working. I used to do everything really like later at night. I used to teach classes at 7 p.m. And then one day I went, why am I waiting till 7 p.m. to go to work? Like, I work all day and then I'm working at 7 p.m. Why don't I have it at noon? Like, and I started doing that, and just, you'll have the recording, you get the video and you'll get the audio the next day. So sign up and get it, because it's going to be fun. And who doesn't want to get rid of their abundance blocks,
So now do you have your own podcast that you do, or you just guest on the podcast?
No, I'm not doing my own podcast. I have enough work. I don't need any more. I definitely don't.
You would be an amazing podcast host.
Well, thank you very much. I so much enjoy being here with both of you. You're so much fun, and obviously it's very easy for us to hang out. So happy to come back anytime and play with you more. You ladies are a lot of fun, and so I'm happy to contribute in any way I can. So,
And us too. So you have
yeah.
ever have anything coming up, because once you're here, you're a Fox 10 family member for
Yep.
life, right?
You're one of our kids now.
Yay! Thank you.
I just reserved my space.
Oh, great! Awesome.
reserve
Thank you.
Monica says such a cool night. It has been. It's comfortable being with you. It's like knowing we've known each other for, like Gina said in the beginning of the show, feels like we've known each other forever.
Yeah, it's easy,
It's nice
easy
comfort.
rapport, and
Well, not difficult.
Sorry.
it's a great first date. It feels like it's been here all along.
I know. As soon as you came
Yeah.
on, it was cracking up. I mean, oh my God. And even, you guys, I'm not even going to tell you.
Then we were here another half an hour, so we've been hanging out for 2.5 hours.
I know.
Right now.
Exactly.
So much fun. It's just so much fun. But it was just instant. It was an instant
Mhm.
click, instant, like you're so comfortable. So you're the perfect person to be doing what you're doing, because, you put people at ease when you're working with them.
Mhm.
And that's what you need to do. And it's really, all the fun that we've had and all the shiny ball moments and everything aside, I just have to say that this seriously is very important work that you are doing, because
I agree.
we can't go on with our lives. We can't be a good partner in business, or owner of a business, or partner in a relationship, or just a relationship with yourself without clearing the clutter, without getting rid of these things. And this is what she does. And it's really important, because if you watch that video too at the beginning, where it's like, the importance of the relationship with oneself is the most important. You can't be for anyone else if you aren't here.
Exactly. You can't fill anyone's glass if your glass is empty.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the key to Karen.
Thank you. I'm so honored that you invited me on here. And like I said, anytime you want to play again, I'm happy to come play again. You're a lot of fun. So it's easy to be here.
Sandbox is always open to you.
That's funny. Just the right amount of water. What?
As long as it's not a kitty litter box, we're good.
No, it's right. Did you ever, can I just say, did you ever watch Captain Kangaroo when you were little?
Yes.
Okay, right.
Yes.
Okay, so we got that one.
Yep.
And so for those of you who don't know, that he had a sandbox too, and it just had the perfect amount of water in the sand. Like it just did everything that you wanted it to.
Absolutely.
Right. Which was so different from, my kindergarten outside. It was like, it was a dry public school sand.
You take all that time to fill the bucket, turn it upside down, and it just goes
ruin it in the washer or something. Yeah. So it was a little different, but yes, I would be happy to play in your sandbox anytime you want, and be of support to your community. Wonderful people, and
I do.
This community is wonderful. Yeah,
I do. I appreciate you, and keep up the good work. And
thank you. I will.
If you have anything that you want us to promote, we'll gladly do it.
Anytime you have a course coming up, shoot Gina a message, shoot me a message. Just go, got a show coming up, I'm going on this podcast. Can you advertise it? We'll do that. Just
awesome.
Shoot it to one of us and we'll be like, yep, no problem.
Everybody come to Prosperity Breakthrough. It's going to be really great. It's going to be a nice preview to a 4-week class that I'm teaching called Prosperity Breakthrough. Will it just be 1 hour a week doing theta healing for 4 weeks to help you release even more abundance blocks, so that you can become more abundant and more open to prosperity. Do the
quiz. So you'll learn something about yourself.
If you go to my justthinktheta.com, the quiz will just pop right up and you can just play right there.
Yep. Yeah, it does not a very long quiz, but it's just
I'll be
you don't have to study for.
There's no right or wrong answers.
Yes, just
be honest. That's all. But thank you again, and I'm gonna say buona notte to everybody. And if you want to hang with us just for a couple minutes,
sure.
And you guys, will see y'all next week.
And, can I just say something? Yes. Tomorrow night, Raven's Soulfire Ascension's having a show, and she's having Cinnamon Moon on her show. So I might be popping in because Cinnamon Moon is one of my favorite people. So if you're not, she's talking the seven sacred directions. Ugh. And it's going to be fun. So message me and I'll give you the links for the show. So if you want. Okay, I'm shutting up now. I forgot about that.
No, that's great. We love Donna and Raven. All right. So definitely tune into that show. It's gonna be great. And if Mama D is on there, hey, as long as she doesn't steal you. All right. Other than that, good night, everybody. Ciao.
Night,
Thank
y'all.
you, Karen, very much.
See you next week.
Bye.
Thank you so much for joining us for another episode of the Fox Den with Gina B and Mama D. We are here every Thursday evening from 8 to 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, bringing you a variety of guests or our own intuitive oracle card reading shows. We are streaming live on Facebook on my personal page and our YouTube channel, The Fox Den with Gina B and Mama D, on Mama D's YouTube channel, Angel Meadows, as well as our audio-only venues. We hope you enjoyed our show and our guest or your reading, and we would love it if you would go to our YouTube channel, The Fox Den with Gina B and Mama D, subscribe, share, and definitely hit that notification button to never miss a show. We'll see you all next week, and subscribers, watch for our pop-up shows as well.